Way back in 1930s, the German army, they started with this assessment centers. Each and every employee in an organization is seen with the monetary benefits. Now, bars in the sense behavioral anchored rating scales. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for the fourth chapter. Now the fourth chapter is the performance appraisal method. Now in the last session we went with the third chapter called performance appraisal, and I told you that what all are the traditional method. Now in this chapter of performance appraisal method, we have the second type, that is the modern methods. So you may be feeling that, sir, the third chapter is performance appraisal and the fourth is performance appraisal method. What exactly it is? Let me tell you, the University of Mysore, what they had done is they had split this chapter called performance appraisal into two chapters, that is chapter number 3 and chapter number 4. So the chapter number 4 is a continuation of your chapter number 3. So let's go with the chapter 4, that is performance appraisal method. And in this chapter, I'm going to teach you more about the modern methods of performance appraisal. So what are the modern methods of performance appraisal? The entire chapter contains the modern methods of performance appraisal. So if you go quick and just check the chapter number 3 where we have done the traditional method, you need to understand each and every point there in the traditional method. Now in the modern method, what they have done is they have updated it and they have given a name for it. The first one we have is assessment centers. Assessment centers. There are few centers which goes with the assessment of the employees through few of the criteria are there. I'll just tell you what are the criteria for that. Human resource accounting. Then we have the very famous BARS. Now here, behaviorally anchored rating scale. So this is what the most used technique in the organization, that is behaviorally anchored scale. Now here, when I go with the behaviorally anchored rating scale, I'll tell you more about what exactly the advantages are and what are the disadvantages. Next, if we go, we have few more modern techniques, that is management by objective. Now Peter F. Drucker is a person who gave this management by objective. Then 360-degree appraisal, and the last one is computerized and web-based performance appraisal. Now here, all the MNC company, multinational companies, right, big gigantic companies, all these companies, they use computerized and web-based performance appraisal. So we have totally 6 types in modern method of performance appraisal. So the first one here is assessment centers, human resource accounting, and we have BARS. And next one we have management by objective, 360-degree appraisal, and the last one is computerized and web-based performance appraisal. So the first one here we have is assessment centers. Now when we go with this assessment center, way back in 1930s, the German army, they started with this assessment centers. Now what exactly these assessment centers are? But are we using the same German concept in this assessment center of performance appraisal in 21st century? The answer is no, we are not. What is that we have done is we have little tailored the assessment center the way German army used to do it, and then we went with a nice approach and we have given it to the human resource management, where the human resource manager will go with these techniques of assessing the employees whether they are eligible for the performance appraisal or they are not. If they are not, when will they actually be eligible also? It is given in the assessment center. Now here, what exactly this assessment center is? Firstly, as I told you that it was started with the German army in 1930s. Hitler is a person who started with these assessment centers where the other person will see to it that what the other person is capable of doing it. That means even the future will also be judged on the basis of assessment centers. Now we have the concept of assessment center was introduced way back in 1930 by the German army, but it has been polished and tailored to fit today's environment. So what exactly we have done here is what you are supposed to know. Before that, you should know how exactly they used to go with assessment. Now, the assessment center method enables employees to get clear picture. What is it? Clear picture. Now here, what exactly it is? There are, say, there are so many employees here, right? There are so many employees here. Now, how exactly the assessment center will pick a person is through few of the methodology here. What happens is he will observe them and the impact it has to their performance. Each and every person will be observed carefully, properly, from the top to the bottom, in the sense what exactly they do in the organization. And then what happens is, the main advantage of this method is that it will not only assess the existing performance of an individual, but also it will predetermine the future performance. Is he capable or he is not capable? Right now, where exactly he is, in future days, where exactly he can contribute to the organization. That is what the assessment center will go with. Now, what are the advantage of assessment center is, it enhances the participants' knowledge, boost his or her thought process, and improve employee efficiency. Now, the minute we get to know that people are observing us, they are looking us, and they will judge us. Now, how well we will be dressed really good, we will approach them properly, we will be on time, we will go and work more efficiently. So what happens is, your personal development is actually building every day. So that is what the advantage of assessment centers are. It can be tailored to fit different roles, competency, and the business needs also will be there. That means, how is that assessment center will assess you? Say example, you have got a job to do, and how well you will approach it, how well you will finish it, how well you will actually talk to your employees, how well you will talk to your colleagues, how well you will actually mingle with your team. So all these are what they are assessing, each and every group of yours. That is what exactly you are doing to the other staffs. Are you tolerant or not? Can you handle stress or not? So all these things which will actually give a proper impact on your performance. And the next thing is, whether you are clubbing your personal life with your professional life, or your professional life with your personal life, all these are what they are assessing you bit and pieces. Now, offer an insight of an employee's personality, ethics, tolerance, problem solving skill, introversion, extroversion, adaptability, etc. All these will be judged according to the assessment centers. So what is that assessment center means? Very simple it is. A person is there, he will be judged in and out, in the sense it is not just for his present performance, it will also reflect on his future performance. If you can handle more risk or uncertainties, then what happens is, the management will also feel that after a year or 2 years, you are supposed to get promotion. The reason is, you are capable of handling situations. If you are very friendly with your team members and you are getting your objectives correct, that is, you are getting your goals and the laid down objectives, everything you are accomplishing, that means what? You are a person who is a team leader. Now, this is what this assessment is done through assessment centers. Next one we have, that is all about the human resource accounting. Now, when I say human resource accounting, please understand it is all about human resource cost accounting. Now, how is this performance appraisal a modern one? Though it is also what way long back it is like we practice this, but we again tailored few things and then we have introduced this in the modern techniques. Now, why it is called the human resource accounting or human resource cost accounting is, each and every employee in an organization is seen with the monetary benefits, whether how much we are actually paying, is he capable of getting that amount or not. So example, one of the example which I tell you is, the best example when you go with the human resource cost accounting method is, say the IPL has an example. If I go with it, say 2 crore rupees, 3 crore rupees, 4 crore rupees, how is that they examine that? How is that they go with the bidding? It is all through the human resource accounting, that is the human resource cost accounting. For one person, how much can we actually spend? So this is what happens even in the IPL. The same way it happens in the MNC companies, that can we pay him that much? Will he give us that much? So that is what the calculation which goes with. So human resource cost accounting method, which will analyze an employee's performance through the monetary benefits that he or she yields to the company. Now when the monetary benefits are more than what his performance is, now definitely that person will not get a performance appraisal. So if monetary benefit is less and his contributions are more, then what happens is he'll get the performance appraisal. It is obtained by comparing the cost of retaining an employee, that is the cost to the company, and the monetary benefit, that is the contribution an organization has ascertained from that specific employee. So it is always like this. The more work you do and the more profit should get from the employee to the organization, then the organization will take care of you. That is what the human resource accounting goes with. So when an employee perform is evaluated based on cost accounting method, factors like unit-wise average service value, quality, overhead costs, interpersonal relations, and more are taken into account. Now the example I gave you is IPL. So let's go with this IPL example itself. We have this team called Chennai Super King, or you can actually take any of the example, where Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he was the captain of Chennai Super Kings. Because he was the Indian captain, he used to go with a very big auctionery amount. That is, say, it was like in crores together. Now, after when Chennai Super King was banned and Dhoni was supposed to go to some other club or the team, now what happened is they started to compare that if I take Dhoni in our team, what are the possibilities? Is he actually a person whom really we needed for the winning of the matches, or it is like anything else? Now here what happened is, again when they went for the auction for Dhoni, what really happened? So that is a question. That is what the human resource accounting is. Again, once again, Chennai Super King, they came to the IPL, and again what happened? Dhoni went to Chennai Super King. Why? Because the auction was more than the present team which had Dhoni. So this is what the things which happens in human resource accounting, that is a human resource cost accounting. That is what the person can do for the organization rather than what the organization can do for the person. So here it's high dependency on the cost and benefit analysis and the memory power of the reviewer. If it is bad, then this is what the demerit will be for the assessment of human resource accounting. Next here, what are the advantages is effectively measures the cost and the value that an employee bring to the organization. That means sure, there is a person, from him how the company or the organization will be. That is what it will assess in the human resource accounting. It helps to identify the financial implication that an employee's performance has on the organization bottom line. At the end of the day, what it is, how much money the organization made through a person. That is what human cost accounting is all about. The last one here in this session, I'm going to teach you about BARS. Now BARS in the sense behavioral anchored rating scales. Now when you go with the scales here, you need to understand what are the standards. What is it? The standards. Now the standards are set by whom? By the organization. Now we are supposed to touch the standard. Say example like graphical itself, if you go with it, we have here 0. The standard is set. Say this is what the standard is. This is what the standard is, and all the employees need to touch the standard and they are supposed to go more than the standard. Then the people will feel, that is a top level will feel that, okay, these people are the one who are efficient. Say example, there is a person here, right? There is a person here and he has touched the standard and he's going up. In the sense, more than the standard his efficiencies. Now what happens is they'll measure from here till here, that what exactly the standards he has done and what exactly he has accomplished. So through this point of a time, they'll get to know that how much appraisal he should get. Say example, there is one more person who's here and this person, his standards are not even close to it. Now it is going. Now will he get performance appraisal? Definitely he will not get. So this person will not get it. So what are these BARS? Behavior. It is all about the behavior of a person and how he will be throughout his journey in the organization. That will be checked. That means both qualitative as well as quantitative, it will be measured. So your behavioral anchored rating scale both qualitative and quantitative benefits in the performance appraisal process. Now, BARS compares employees' performance with specific behavioral example that are anchored to numerical ratings. Now, when I say numerical rating, it is all about the standard. Say example, now we have something called 10 to 1, that is rating 10 to 1. Let me just erase this and I'll write it once again for you people. You'll understand better. Say example, we'll take example of a receptionist. There are two people here, 1 and 2. Now, what are the work for a receptionist is? They are supposed to pick the call and answer the calls. That is what the receptionist need to do. Now, if it is a traditional one, I'll give you an example of traditional, and I'll give you the example of modern, then you will understand better. Now, in traditional, what is it? There are two receptionists, and two of the receptionists, they'll pick the call, they'll talk to the customers or the client, and they'll actually cut the call. So very simple. So in the traditional, what it is, reception 1 and reception 2, both will get tick marks saying that they have done their work properly. But in modern technique, what happens is scrutiny is very, very high. So receptionist 1 and receptionist 2, say example here, after 5 rings, they have actually picked the call. After 4 rings, they have picked the call. Now in the traditional, they have picked the call, so they have done their work. But in modern, what happens is it is a receptionist 2 who has picked the call, and then she has or he has answered the call. So here for the receptionist 2, the scale goes with 4 or 5. Receptionist 1, the scale out of 10, it goes with 2 to 3. Now, is it only like picking the call and answering? Will you actually feel that they are efficient? No. How well they will talk to the client, how well they will engage the client, that is also there. That's the reason. Now you will understand. It's only because of BARS, all the calls from the customers are recorded. That's why they only say in the automated machine, they say that all the calls for the best service to be provided, it will be recorded. Why? Because of behavioral rating scales. Now, if you are not happy with the customer care and what you tell them, that will be stored. On that basis, again, their rating will actually go up or it will come down. So this is what the bar system of ranking the person. Now, each performance level on bar scale is anchored by multiple bars. When I say multiple bars, example, 5 rings, 4 rings. Now here we went with it. After that, again the bar system is like multiple bars. Did they talk informative or irrelevant? Again, there is one of the bar where again the scale will go. The next question is, was it useful to the client or it was not useful for the client? That is the second thing. Third thing is, was the problem solved or the problem was not solved? Done. Next thing, did they address properly or not? Next thing. So like that, they have multiple bars. So that is why the modern technique is very, very useful, because it will scrutinize each and every minute thing. That is what the qualitative as well as the quantitative. Now, these statements yet has a yardstick. They have a yardstick. A benchmark will be there here. Now we have 0, it will go. So this is what the yardstick is. To measure an individual performance against predetermined standard. Again, this is what the standard is. The standard. It is predetermined. First itself, we will get to know what is the standards. Now, the first step in bars creation is generation of critical incident. We call that as a critical incident. Now, critical incident that depict typical workplace behavior, how a workplace should be, how disciplined they should be, how tolerant they are supposed to be, how gentle they are supposed to approach everyone. So the next step is editing these critical incident into a common format and removing any redundance. Now, any kind of a redundance is there, you are supposed to remove it. Now, remaining critical incidents are used to create bars and evaluate employee performance. So this is what happens in the bars. Now, what are the advantages of bars: enjoy clear standards, improved feedback, accurate performance analysis, and consistent evaluation. Now here what happens, there is no bias at all. Now the proper thing is, if you are obedient, if you work really hard, then definitely there is a performance appraisal for you. Now eliminate, construct irrelevant variance. Now whatever is the irrelevant variance is there, it will be eliminated. The last one is, it has decreased any chance of bias and ensure fairness throughout the appraisal process. That's why fairness process will happen in this performance appraisal method of bars. That's the reason many of the companies, they use bars, because the efficiency level will be high. The person who will be evaluated, that person will learn more from whatever the mistakes he has done in the past, so that he can be better in the future. So these are the techniques which we are supposed to know. It is a 10 marks question in your chapter. So please study all these things. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.